We're back to the Financial Enabler podcast, and we have some good stuff, guys. And I wanted to dive into 401ks, right? A lot of service members and veterans are looking to get out, retire, change jobs, and they enter into the K space, and it's complicated. You're used to TSP, which was a relatively simple program. In comparison, I think it's the most streamlined program out there. So at least for what I've seen. So I want to dive into this a little bit. So a lot of people misunderstand them, right? Most people don't know how to use them right. And the worst part is that it's sold as a golden ticket of retirement, which is not, right? I'm gonna break down some good, some bad, and that way you guys can make some better decisions with your money. So I'm gonna start with the positives. A 401k is a smart way to start investing, especially if you're getting into that habit of saving. The best part is that it's for savings. You set an allocation, you set and forget it, right? That is the number one benefit to it. It's automatic contributions. You have no temptation to spend the money. Most employers do offer a match. You know, some people say it's free money, you should grab it. I generally consider this the number one benefit of it, and some of the downsides are offset by this one benefit. There is a vesting process, so I'm gonna cover that in a little bit, okay? You get tax deferred growth. That means that your money compounds faster since you're not paying taxes each year. There's two options, either traditional, where you pay the taxes later, which I'm not a huge fan of, but it may have a role for some people in the retirement plan. And there's Roth, which you pay the taxes now, you never pay them again. So it also allows you to have two Roth accounts. You can have a Roth IRA and a Roth 401k. You're allowed to have both. If your company offers a Roth 401k option, I highly suggest that you look into it. Great benefit, your money and the matching, thanks to Secure 2.0, allows you to grow that money tax-free for the rest of your life. It's a great benefit. And again, understanding the funds is super important. We'll talk about that a little bit. So here's the downside. Every benefit comes with a cost. All financial products have a downside. There isn't a single perfect golden ticket of financial product. So when you finally withdraw, if it's in a traditional account, it is taxed as ordinary income, no matter how long you've held on to it. So if you use a traditional account and you wait until whenever you withdraw it, it counts as your income, which means it can affect your Social Security, assuming it's still a thing. You will be forced to start taking distributions at 73, even if you don't need the money. These are require minimal distributions. If you had in a Roth account, that wouldn't apply. That is another benefit that I like of Roth. So there's a bunch of fees, fund restrictions, limited control, and it's hard to grow beyond the plan's menu. So the fees are like administrative, management, 12B1 fees. Those issues, those costs are offset nicely by having the matching. So if it doesn't have the matching, I would really consider it, okay? Now, employer matching isn't always instant. I just saw a case today that the person did not get 100% of the matching unless they work for the company for 6 years. So if you leave early, the company keeps their side of the money. So there's a way of them locking you into the job for a longer period of time that you may not be committed to. So when you get into it, be mindful of it. So for example, you get into an account, a 401k, and they're giving you 5% matching, but the 0% matching unless you're vested over the 2 years. And if you quit at a year. So if you're planning on just being in and out, maybe just use the Roth account. No, you're not going to get everything, but max out your Roth IRA first. And then the other side is that when markets dip near retirement, that nest egg can get hit. Just what it can drastically be affected. This is a big issue because it's what is called sequence of return risk. Be aware of it. It gives you structure, but not all the flexibility. So when it comes to taxes, right? Deferring taxes isn't always good. You're not avoiding them. It just means you're letting the IRS take their taxes later. There's a great strategies to account for this. There's set amounts that generally are considered appropriate to keep in a traditional account if you fully retire. You can reach out or we can give you some of those strategies. I have great connections for this. So what should you do? Should you pick a 401k? Maybe. I would definitely ask some questions. I would ask, what are the fees? Where can I find the fees? What's the matching? What's the vesting? What are my investment options? Why would I put my money in that high expense fund? I just saw a guy that was paying 4% for a fund. So don't just jump into it. Make sure you understand how other things compare and can do same or similar. Same is like Roth IRA, pretty much the same intent. There's other things that can have benefits in this space, but it's not an investment. It's like a life insurance, right? Or you just put the money to real estate. You got to understand where you're putting it. With that, I want to highlight for solopreneurs. If you're a solopreneur, you should really explore a solo 401k. You can put up to $70,000. And that is a massive amount of money you can put into a Roth IRA. So if you're doing fantastic in your business, you're an entrepreneur, I would highly encourage you. So if you want to see how the 401k fits and you want to understand it, make sure you reach out. You can find me on LinkedIn. You can find me on Instagram. You can put a comment here or reach out. We're here to support. Financial Enablers here to create a community that people are building wealth, right? That we create the wealth that we want. We have the money to have the time to be with our families. It's not just money for money. Every single person that I know that is just doing money for money, it's miserable. So let's go get wealthy. Let's do some awesome stuff. And thank you for coming to Financial Enabler. Let's go.
This podcast is not financial advice, and it only represents the opinions of those participating. Our goal is to get you to your version of financial independence. Please follow and like on every platform.